research on what the zoning, if they do that swap, and how that would,
I mean, Plaz?
On Plaz property?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, really, the swap is irrelevant to us, it's just a real estate transaction. We
Okay,
have
I
no-
mean, can they do that without having to change the zoning on the Lancaster property?
I believe so, again,
That's what I
I'll
want,
do
that's what
the
I'd like to
research.
find out.
I'll do the research. It's zoned light industrial, I don't know if it's planned or not, I have to look that up. If it's planned, then I have to look at the conditions on the original approval, which, that's gotta go back to the sixties.
Right.
If it even
Sure
exists.
does.
If it's zoned F light industrial, then they probably can.
I'm just trying to look to any scenarios where we
Yeah.
would be asked.
So
to make
I will
it.
do the research to figure out exactly what they would need to do to put that in there, and,
Secondly, I don't know if there's anything that we can or need to do, but we definitely want to dispel the rumor that was floating around on Nextdoor that we were going to take that new subdivision and put it in the Sycamore School District.
we can't do that.
We can't,
We don't
that's
have the
insane.
power to do that.
That's insane.
Even, the only one that could do it is the state, and to my knowledge, in the last 30 years, there's been 2 properties that were allowed to switch school districts. It was in Butler County. The school district line literally went right down the middle of the property, and half the house was in one school district, half the house was in another school district, and the builder had marketed it to the better school district. The state did allow those to put the entire property into the one school district that was marketed as. That's it. That's not
That's
happening
not
here,
what's
because
happening
this is
here.
nowhere near any other school district.
And there has never even been the thought
Right.
of switching that to a different school district. So for anyone who knows or is in contact with anyone discussing this project, please let them know that the Sycamore Township Board of Trustees has no intention of doing anything of the sort.
Now, is there a time limit on this? I've got a lot of emails, mostly against it, a few for it. But somebody said there was a time limit of October 10th or something.
Well, that
Yes.
time limit was basically between this Harry Yagi and Plaz Farm. So that's got nothing to do with us or
So they can go back
zoning
and
or-
extend it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's not to say tomorrow, if somebody doesn't bring you a compliant plan on the property.
Yeah,
I mean, someone could do, with the frontage it has, you could do a lot split, you could put 4, well, you theoretically could put 8 estate homes in it just via lot splits. If someone got creative, you could split the lot in half, and then divide those each 4 times, and you skirt the subdivision rules, you'd have about 8 estate lot homes, which would be 2+ acres apiece. So I mean, there's, obviously they're not gonna make the money on that they would think, so. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, because it's floating out there, and at some point it's gonna come your way, whether or not you can or can't do anything about it, I don't know.
there was another thing floating around on next door that people want the township to buy it and leave it as green space. So, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna buy 10 acres for $1 million.
There's another option.
Yeah.
The auditor has on the books land value 200,000 improvements. I think they've got $1 million in improvements on the building, so clearly the land is not worth $1 million.
Clearly.
Obviously, Harry Yagi can afford that price because number one, he's gonna develop the lot, so he'll sell the lots for a price, probably makes money back on that, then he'll do the financing on the new homes. So, hence why he can pay the higher value. So, I just wanna bring that to your attention, because I'm sure you've heard about, at some point you've had people contacting you, and,
I heard a rumor that it was worth a lot more than $1 million. They said $1 million to 10. That's what.
I don't know.
if it's worth 10 million, I think I've got bridges to sell.
Kenwood Road, where is this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
10 million, my property almost touches it, can I sell mine with that?
I mean, if,
Yeah.
Denny, if you want to go to upcoming public hearings right now,
Well, real quick, so if it goes to this, we're gonna have this big homes, when we have to approve it, they'll be, we'll be well informed ahead of time, and the residents will know that.
well,
So
I mean,
we go
so
open-
if they submit for a zone change, then you have at least a 3-month
You go
process.
through the process, the same
Yeah,
as
So,
anything else.
okay.
That's not to say a plat doesn't show up here tomorrow requesting a zone change, and the clock starts. It is what it is, it's a legal process we have to follow. Whether or not that's enough notice, that's up to the individual. If someone says, I didn't get 6 months notice, well, nobody did. So, the time for notification is all in the eye of the beholder.
But the residents will have plenty of,
They will have the statutorily required time, whether or not it's plenty, in my opinion, it's plenty. Up to them, I don't know if they'll think it's
what'd
plenty.
you say it was?
What is it, It's at least a 3-month
Okay,
process.
so,
But that's for a zone change.
3-month process, 3 public hearings minimum.
Yeah, if there's no zone change.
If there's no zone
No
change,
zone
then
change.
it never comes to us.
yeah,
If
but
it-
he doesn't
there's-
want that.
If there's no zone change, then they just get approval and start pushing dirt. So,
But that's administrative, and they go to you for that approval, not to us.
that's correct.
Anything else on planning and zoning?
That's it for that. We're gonna
Okay,
be going to
good.
public hearings.
That's fine.
So, tonight we're
Item
talking
10.
7 o'clock tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll leave it at that.
We'll see how it goes. I would love to wrap it up by 10 tonight. It would be wonderful
Well,
if we could.
this is my take on it. Anything past 10, you're not doing the residents or yourselves, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you go more than 4 hours or 10 o'clock, it's, you know, if you were to take this 4 hours to 11, unless you are close to the end, at that point, you're doing yourself a disservice on listening to everybody and making a fair
It's
decision.
3 hours because it starts at 7.
That's
Right.
it, yeah.
Right.
You've been doing 4 hours, I think everybody's agreed at 4 hours.
We're-
10 o'clock, everybody's done. Well, it's still gonna be 10 o'clock. You know, what do you wanna do? That's your call, what you wanna do.
We'll see how it goes.
So 7 o'clock tonight.
Okay, one more question on that then. Okay, so we don't resolve it tonight, we don't vote that. What's the next date then?
Pick more dates?
We have
I
to
thought we
pick
already did 16 and 18.
Well, you haven't,
We didn't
you
officially,
informally say, you have to formalize that tonight.
but we have to get the attorneys and we have to get
Okay, so we're
everybody
those two.
to confirm dates, so we have to do that tonight.
Yep.
If we're not finished.
And I'll get to continue this, I'm not gonna bring Harry in at this third session, I'll just finish it out.
Okay.
To keep the A-team here.
Okay. Any other upcoming public hearings
That's it.
information?
That's it.
Okay, questions? Fire department update, chief.
Thursday night, we'll have the new firefighters here for the swearing in. And we literally just got the last physical results back yesterday morning. So we're hitting the wire on it. And then the other thing is Mr. Miller has a resolution for the medic unit, the new medic unit. Originally, because we went from the Braun to the Horton, which is fine because the Horton is the ambulances we're running now, so we're not going backward by no means. But it was originally almost $4,000 more expensive, and we got it down to $1,600 difference.
Good.
So we'll be fine. Be a good unit. It's the same type of chassis, the Ford chassis. The concept's still the same, just a different manufacturer. That's it.
So Ron was willing to give up that sale
Yeah.
because they wouldn't change the language in
It
the
sure
contract.
was. And I think when a lot of the cities in Ohio find out that that's in there, it'll probably hurt them even more. Because, as we said, it wasn't in the original contract, it was in the warranty paperwork. And I'm probably guessing that most fire chiefs don't send their warranty papers to their law directors, most likely. So, eventually, it's probably, that word's gonna trickle out there, and they're gonna be forced to have to change that.
That's a good subject to speak on at the next chiefs meeting.
Mhm. So, oh well. But
Same chassis.
same chassis, the Ford 550 chassis, and the box is pretty much exactly the box that we're running now on all the other units, because it's the same manufacturer, so it's definitely a good unit. I was just a little leery on, because Horton has the new salesman, or the guy that we used to buy from retired, and this guy didn't seem to be attentive, but now that we've expressed that we're actually gonna buy one, he's picked it up his pace quite a bit. He's actually been doing pretty well at returning, the paperwork to us, getting us the drawings and all that stuff. So he's done all right. I can't complain.
Chief, price difference between the two?
$1,600, that's it.
So we'll be doing swearing in on Thursday night?
Thursday night, yes.
Greg, do we have that language around someplace that you could print it out for us?
Somewhere I do, yes.
Yeah, okay. Or you, Doug, I don't know if
We
you.
can write it out.
I've got it somewhere.
I-
Something about
I do better with cheat
Constitution
sheets.
I've got it somewhere, Dan.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, comments for chief?
The only other thing is that we got 2 or 3 public events that we're gonna be dealing with the fire truck, going to some gatherings for St. Mount Carmel Church, and then we got one in Dillon Vale for October, for fire prevention and that sort of thing, so
Good,
we're accommodating all those.
wonderful, good to be visible in the community.
That's it.
Okay, questions? Sheriff's Department, Tori.
Good morning, everyone. Not a whole lot to report. I don't want to use the word inundated because it's got a negative kind of tone to it, but we're getting obviously a lot of requests, and we're continuing to follow up with these requests for active shooter drills, policy and safety meetings, presentations, things of that nature. Next up on our list here this month are the Schilling School seasons, and Brookwood is going to have us back. Brookwood Retirement Center, we were there, I believe, last October or November. But these things are ramping up, and we're doing our best to keep up with those presentations. Sergeant Chris Sovereign is the go-to subject matter expert on that. He's handling these details while he's working. But so far, the folks in the organizations that have been involved in this stuff, they've been very thankful, receptive, and if it happens to be a huge facility or a big company or something like that, they want to have us back. Mr. Craig Croft over at the collection, he's having us back for some follow-up conversations and stuff like that. So it's unfortunately it's the new normal, but we're doing the best we can to keep up with the requests. Not a whole lot on the agenda for me. I was going to ask the board if you would like to participate. I've got deputies lined up if we want to do the Halloween pass out candy again. We've got some young motivated people that would be more than happy to do that if we can partner.
Absolutely.
And I'm assuming it's on the 31st.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've got the people in line
Okay.
if we want to do it again.
You're covering the cost, right?
I thought
Is that under your
you were-
new billing
I
model?
thought you were paid how we would.
New billing model?
Here goes, tiny little Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. One in there per child. So, thanks, Greg, appreciate that. Other than that, I don't have anything else at this time.
I know you can't comment, but the drug update up north in High Point.
I can't comment, and with all due respect to anyone and everyone involved, I won't. I wasn't present, I think, for the last one.